In the whirlwind of today's business world, strategy is king. It's the compass guiding companies through storms of disruption and toward shores of success. Yet, ironically, strategic planning often gets pushed aside. Organizations are caught in the current, battling immediate fires and chasing short-term wins. They lose sight of the bigger picture. This neglect of strategic thinking can lead to missed opportunities, reactive decision-making, and ultimately a loss of competitive edge. Why is this the case? Why do leaders who understand the importance of strategy still struggle to prioritize it? The answer lies in a complex interplay of factors. These barriers, often deeply ingrained in an organization's culture and operations, prevent leaders from dedicating the necessary time and resources to strategic thinking. This essay will delve into 3 major barriers to strategic thinking. We'll explore the pressures that pull leaders into the tactical weeds. Then we'll examine practical research-backed solutions to overcome these challenges. By understanding these obstacles and implementing the right solutions, leaders can unlock the true potential of strategic thinking and steer their organizations toward enduring success. One of the biggest hurdles to strategic planning is the relentless pressure of daily operations. Leaders are bombarded with emails, meetings, and urgent decisions. Their calendars are filled to the brim with tactical to-dos. This constant state of busy leaves little room for the deep focused thinking that strategy demands. Executives, especially CEOs, often feel like firefighters, rushing from one crisis to the next. They become reactive, dealing with problems as they arise instead of proactively shaping the future. This operational whirlwind makes it difficult to step back, assess the landscape, and chart a strategic course. The urgency of the present eclipses the importance of the future. Strategic thinking, which requires dedicated time and mental space, gets squeezed out. Leaders end up making decisions based on immediate pressures rather than long-term goals. This can lead to short-sighted choices that ultimately harm the organization's ability to thrive in an ever-changing environment. Another significant barrier to strategic thinking comes from external pressures. Shareholders and investors, often focused on quarterly earnings reports and immediate returns, can inadvertently discourage long-term strategic planning. Companies feel the heat to prioritize short-term profits over long-term investments. This pressure to deliver immediate results can lead to a phenomenon known as short-termism. Companies become fixated on hitting quarterly targets, even if it means sacrificing investments in innovation, research and development, or talent development, all of which are essential for long-term growth and sustainability. The pursuit of quick wins can eclipse the pursuit of lasting value. This focus on short-term gains can lead to a vicious cycle. Companies neglect strategic initiatives that take time to yield results. This, in turn, can lead to stagnation and a decline in competitiveness, ultimately hurting the very shareholders they were trying to appease. Section 4. The abstract abyss. Strategic plans gathering dust. The third barrier lies in the nature of strategic planning itself. Traditional strategic planning often produces lengthy documents filled with vague goals and generic statements. These plans, while well-intentioned, often lack the specificity and accountability needed to drive real action. Teams may spend weeks or even months developing a strategic plan, only to see it gather dust on a shelf. Without clear ownership timelines or metrics for success, these plans become aspirational documents rather than actionable blueprints for the future. The abstract nature of these plans makes it difficult for people to connect their daily work to the overarching strategy. Employees may not even be aware of the strategic goals, let alone understand how their individual contributions support the bigger picture. This disconnect between strategy and execution creates a significant barrier to strategic thinking. Section 5. Carving out time. Making strategy non-negotiable. Overcoming these barriers requires a conscious and deliberate effort to embed strategic thinking into the fabric of the organization. The first step is to address the time crunch that plagues leaders. This starts with recognizing that strategic thinking is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Leaders must make it a non-negotiable part of their schedule. This could involve blocking off specific time each week for strategic thinking. Some executives even schedule full-day or multi-day off-site retreats solely dedicated to strategy. The key is to create protected space away from the daily grind, allowing for focused thinking and in-depth discussions. In addition to dedicated time, leaders must learn to delegate effectively. By empowering others to handle day-to-day operational issues, leaders free up their own bandwidth for strategic thinking. They can then focus on the bigger picture, identifying opportunities and navigating the organization toward long-term success. Section 6. Aligning incentives. Rewarding long-term vision. To address the short-term pressures from investors, organizations need to align incentives with long-term strategic goals. This means moving away from a sole focus on quarterly earnings and incorporating long-term performance metrics into executive compensation packages. For example, companies can tie bonuses to the achievement of strategic milestones, such as launching a new product line or entering a new market. Stock options, with vesting periods tied to long-term performance, can also incentivize executives to think beyond the next quarter. Furthermore, companies need to communicate their strategic vision and long-term goals clearly and consistently to investors. By demonstrating a commitment to sustainable growth and value creation, companies can build trust and encourage investors to adopt a longer-term perspective. This shift in focus from short-term gains to long-term value creation is crucial for fostering a culture of strategic thinking. Section 7. From abstract to actionable, grounding strategy in reality. Finally, to overcome the challenge of abstract strategic plans, organizations need to move away from static documents and embrace a more dynamic and agile approach to strategy. This involves breaking down high-level goals into concrete action plans with clear ownership, timelines, and measurable outcomes. Each initiative within the strategic plan should have a designated owner responsible for driving its execution. Progress should be tracked regularly, and the plan should be adjusted as needed based on internal and external changes. This iterative approach keeps the strategy alive and relevant, ensuring it remains a guiding force for decision-making at all levels of the organization. When strategy is translated into clear, actionable steps, it becomes easier for employees to see the connection between their work and the overall success of the company. This fosters a sense of ownership and accountability, driving greater engagement and commitment to achieving strategic goals.